What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to The Long Dark. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as it got dark on us, like, really fast. Luckily, I have this little lampy-doo right here, and I so rarely get to use it that I think this is a good time to break it on out, illuminate the darkness, make it so we can see good. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these. The lantern is not going to last forever, so we probably want to get moving. I left all my lantern fuel, like, back at the home base, so we probably want to make quick work of this place. Let's go ahead and dig around inside of here. What we got going on? Anything inside these cabinets? Clearing out the dam is one of those things that I actually kind of dread doing, just because, like, the dam takes so long to loot. Did I step over this backpack and not even look inside of it? I was gonna say I make a piss poor looter if that's what I did. Sometimes there's sodas inside of there. You should check it. Even on stalker mode, that tends to be a good spot to get a bunch of stuff. Got a book over there on cooking. Take it. Probably not going to read it. But, you know, I don't really read too much on Interloper. Some people like to read a lot, like, and level up their skills a little bit faster. I usually just kind of let it happen organically and use the books to start fires. Because I'm an ignoramus caveman like that. It's just like, well, like, how frequently? So, like, later on in the game, I guess you may get to a point where you'll have a lot of food in your stomach and you can sit around researching or something like that, but honestly, for me, research always seems really inconvenient, and I never seem to find a good time to do it. So I tend to just, like, burn the books rather than obsessing about what I want to do with them. We got another cooking pot inside of here. I am going to take that, because it never hurts to have, like, 2 or 3 fires going and just, like, blaze out, like, 1,000,000 liters of water so that you never have to worry about it again. Make a big old pile of the stuff. If you're looking to exit the zone, it used to be around here, but I think they moved it. I think it's down below. If you're looking for the way back into that little valley zone that I told you about, we'll take the scrap metal too. I may drink the other coffee. I don't know if we can, like, make it out off what we got going on right now. I think we can, though. Let's go back to the front of the dam, and I will see you when we get there. For anybody wondering, this is the exit right here where you can go out. So it's in this little hallway right here in this room. You can go out through that door right there, and it'll take you to an outdoor biome where there's a bunch of rabbits, some wolves, there's a cave back there. And then it hooks up to another zone. I forget which other zone. It acts as a quick way if you're trying to go from Mystery Lake to somewhere, but I don't remember where the other spot is. On the dead guy over here, I usually walk past him on my way in. Summit soda and some lantern fuel. Weirdly enough, the lantern fuel is actually kind of helpful right now. Yeah, refuel this thing real fast. I don't want to run out of... Yeah, that's exactly it. Refuel it while it's lit, because that's the best idea. Back out into the cold we go. We are out of the dam, and it is officially looted. We could put a big red... I would love, actually, in this game, what I want them to add is a can of spray paint, where you can actually, like, spray paint an X on buildings that you've already searched or whatever. I've wanted that item for, like, a really long time. And, you know, considering how much I've streamed and played this game, if it was named after me, I'd be okay with that, too. I mean, it's being the origin of the idea. I would be able to, you know, some splatter paint would be. I'd be down for it. I'd be down for it. I'm always excited when I get included in a video game that I very much love. But yeah, spray paint would be really cool if you could, like, spray paint the front of a building real fast and it would stay there, like, permanently. It'd be great for, like, marking buildings, marking cars, and basically if you've got a bad memory like I do, I feel like that's a fantastic supplementary tool that they could add in just to make life a little bit easier. We're going to spend the nighttime in the trailer over here. We're getting a little bit tired, and I don't want to overextend ourselves. We're just starting to get our status back from some of the colder days that we've spent out in the open. It looks like I've already bulldozed through this place. Let's go ahead and get ourselves fed. I'm going to eat the beef jerky. I will more than likely eat this guy right here, too, and just hope that we don't get food poisoning. If we do, that would suck, but, you know, that's life. What's my calorie count at right now? 597. Let's go with that one right there, too. It's okay. We can go through some of our supplies. All right. We will refuel on water. I forgot to get the toilet water out of there. Maybe I'll go back and get it in the morning. I'll go back and get it in the morning. It'll be okay. All right. I'll see you in the morning. Let's get ourselves... Oh, there's Cabin Fever. I knew you were going to come along at some point, Cabin Fever. How you doing? Hello, my old friend. Hello. 'Tis good to see thee. Alright, so I have to do some stuff outdoors. It's okay, I've got a plan. I've got a plan. There's a cave at the back of the zone that you can sleep in that will get rid of your cabin fever risk, and you'll be feeling nice and doodly dandy. Alright, so we're back up and in this right now. Hopefully the weather is not too absurdly terrible. Nah, it's alright. We're good. With the cabin fever risk, how bad is our cabin fever risk? It's only 22%. It's not terrible. We can work around that, I think. I do want to harvest that deer over there. I'm overweight by how much? By a little bit. Not by a lot, but by like a little tiny bit. I think it might be a good idea. I guess I could tear things down for cloth. I've got enough sticks right now to make a snow shelter too. One of the options you always have available to you is that you can craft a snow shelter. And in my opinion, the snow shelter is kind of an underutilized MVP. It's one of those things that's actually pretty useful. You can make a snow shelter, and what I like to do is I would sleep 6 hours outside, and then 6 hours inside every single night, just to kind of take the edge off of your cabin fever risk. But our cabin fever is going to get worse before it gets better here, just because I can't spend too much time outside right now. I did want to check the lumber yard over here, a little processing area. Make sure that I I got to do due diligence out here. I got to do due diligence. We'll swing out this way. I want to make sure that I looted this. I'm pretty sure I probably did. I'm usually good about looting this place over here. It's not one of the places that I forget about. Things like the Forgotten Cave up on the mountain and like the little area over there with the hunter's blind way off to the left. I tend to forget about those, but this one I don't tend to forget about. This is also a good opportunity for us to look for a maple branch. We're not going to harvest it right now, but if we could just like see it and mentally just kind of like keep tabs on where it is, I think that's a good idea too, because we're going to want to get on top of that about as soon as possible. Also a big threat in Interloper, it just popped up for us, but something you should watch out for as well is frostbite risk. Frostbite is really, really bad. Probably one of the worst debuffs in the game that you can get. It permanently lowers your HP by like 10% each time that you get it. Really, really bad. You don't want to get frostbite. Frostbite is a problem. If you get frostbite early on in a playthrough, it's actually kind of like, if I get frostbite on accident in the first like 20 days of my playthrough, I'll usually just restart because the loss in HP is just like, I'm not that far in anyways. I might as well get my HP back real fast. Especially if there's other like very, very specific things that I haven't found after clearing a large chunk of the map. I might just re-roll it. Re-roll it. Oh, I didn't search this back here. Okay. Fine by me. We got some sardines right there. I will absolutely take that. Sounds good. The hammer is a really useful tool for this reason right here. You want to use the hammer to chop wood instead of your hatchet for as long as possible. Got another pair of jeans right there. I think I have multiple pairs of pants on already. Ooh, more matches. Nice, dude. That's where they were hiding it at. I actually don't. Cool. Well, those jeans turn out to be good for us. I'm not going to take the wood right now. It's too heavy and we're a little overweight to begin with. So I'm not going to fiddle with that. Let's get back out here. If you're looking for a cooking pot, there's almost always a cooking pot inside that ruined hut right there. Just in case. You shouldn't have too many problems finding cooking pots, but I know some people are like cooking pot collectors. They like to have like 50 of them, and then they like to make a big circle of fires outside their house. And in the circle of fires, they'll make like 25 liters of water at a time. I'm not like really... I don't really do that. I don't know. Like, it is a good strategy. It's an optimal strategy. I'm not an optimal player, though. I'm kind of like a reactive player, not a proactive player. I've noticed that about myself in video games. And so, like, you know, I tend to face problems as they come up, rather than, like, worrying about them way, way, way in advance. Anything in here? Make sure you check under the beds and whatnot. My case in point. Make sure you check under the beds. You'll find granola bars, candy bars, sodas, all that kind of fun stuff. Very, very often, just like hidden in weird areas, like on the shelving in here or like back in this little corner. It's definitely like findable stuff if you just look around. I'm going to pass time for an hour and get my heat back. Wait for the weather to become like less obnoxious. That's probably going to negatively affect my cabin fever. Actually, my cabin fever is getting better right now. Frostbite risk is at 6%. Yeah, let's kind of make that go away. I don't want to deal with frostbite right now. There we go. Frostbite risk, all nice and taken care of. No more problem. We got some of that. We got some of that lovely weather out here. We're getting treated to Canada's best right now. Oh, frostbite already, huh? Okay, well, it may not be plausible for us to spend a bunch of time outside right now. If we get cabin fever, I do have a plan to resolve that, but it's going to take some time to get there. We're going to have to wait out this storm. Hopefully it's not like an all-day storm. If it is, that's going to put us in a very precarious situation. I'm going to harvest this rabbit, actually. That seems like a really good plan for the time being, is that we can kind of take this guy to task real fast. The weather clear up? I was trying to listen in here. Yeah. Cleared up a little bit. And now we've actually got much better weather to do our exploration with. So right now what I'm looking for is a maple branch. The best place to find maple branches on this map, you typically find them like up in the mountains, off on the sides of this area. So if you like wander off into the hinterland over here, you tend to find them. So like I would get like high ground over here, and just kind of walk around. It's also a good opportunity to get a few more rabbits while we're in the neighborhood. Especially since the weather is just like so perfect right now. We've only got -1 temperature. It's just like gorgeous out at the moment. And so like it's probably only like -8. Only -8, everybody. Only -8. Oh, it's because my hands are exposed to the cold. That's what it is. I need to get some gloves. But there are other important things that we need to accomplish right now, too. I'm not seeing our maple. How fast is that going up? Pretty fast. Okay. No, we're going to have to be careful about it. Hopefully we can make it to another location where we can warm up for a minute. Maybe the cabin that's back behind the zone over there might be a useful spot to be. I'm going to take a roundabout route to get there just because I really, really want that maple branch, but we may get frostbite. I didn't realize, I forgot that our gloves broke. So I think like dedicating after we get rid of after we deal with our present issue with cabin fever, we'll probably deal with the frostbite and we'll probably make the bunny gloves next just so that we've got something covering our hands. I think we can also get rid of frostbite by making a fire. Trying to avoid it for right now because I don't want to waste the matches on like an unnecessary fire. But I was going to say it kind of looks a little sunny out right now, but I guess it's not. Maple branches, are you back here? No maple branches so far. No saplings anyways. I was hoping we would find them, but no such luck. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make my way. Yeah, I'm going to try and make my way back to the little cabin that's nestled away back here. I think that's probably our next best stop-off point, just to make sure that our frostbite risk doesn't get too high, because it's pretty bad right now. We've got kind of like a double-edged sword that we're dealing with at the moment when it comes to our status. Those gloves melting off, not good. They were at 1%, and I was going to repair them, but I guess just throwing them in my backpack didn't help out. With the weather, like your stuff degrades in the weather, I think regardless of whether it's in your backpack or not, and that can be one of those things that kind of creeps up on you. My real issue right now is that we haven't seen any maple like anywhere. I may have to go to another zone in order to find that stuff. Luckily, I think you can find it in the muskeg. I also believe that you can find it when you are out at... The spawns are kind of randomized, so you're not guaranteed to find it at any given time. But the spawns are somewhat randomized. And so, like, if you don't find them, there's still a couple of other places that I would look on this map first. Like out in the mountains over there, but... For right now, I didn't see a single sapling on the way over here. Birch, maple, or otherwise. Bit of a bummer. That's okay. We'll find it. We'll find it eventually. Usually, finding that stuff is just kind of in the nature of wandering around until you see it. And then eventually, while you're like chasing a rabbit or a deer or something like that, you'll see it off out of the corner of your eye and be like, aha! There you are. You'll have that aha moment. I'm actually pretty tired right now. Surprisingly tired. Sometimes they spawn up there, which is why I'm looking so intently. That's why I'm looking so intently right now. We are back inside. We are no longer directly exposed to the weather, so that's good. Let's go ahead and we'll bust this up for a minute to let our heat build up. Get a little bit warmer for a second. So how's this looking? We got 25% cabin fever. You got frostbite risk. We do need water. Might be a solid venture to get a fire going out here. So let's take cover from the wind. I'm going to go ahead and light up the flare. We got to cook our dinner anyways, so no biggie. I have accelerant, so yeah, let's take the free fire right now. I tend to use accelerant about as soon as I get it. Some people will save it until like those dire moments where they absolutely need to have it. Not me. I'm not the one. Hopefully that'll help out with our frostbite risk. It should. Like, I think it should clear it up pretty quickly. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on it, though. I wanted to cook up my rabbit before the wind shifts on me, so let's get that done first, because that's going to be our dinner for the night. So there we go. We got our rabbit. Perfect. Frostbite's down to 10%. Cabin fever's down to 21%. I may try to spend a bunch of... because there's a cooldown. Like, if you get cabin fever, after the cooldown goes off, I'm pretty sure there's, like, a limit on when you can get it again. I'm going to go ahead and make some water, too, while we're out here. Might as well. Seems like an okay plan to me. Let me grab a stick or two just to sort of bolster this fire. There we go. Keep that thing going for a little while. Hopefully the wind doesn't shift on us too aggressively. If it does, bummer. So frostbite risk is good, and the wind did shift on us. Sucks. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. On the plus side, a little bit more water right there. That's good. That'll hold us for a little while. I'm not going to eat my rabbit meat just yet. Let me cook off some more water. We got a little bit of time left on this fire. What I like to do is when the wind is deciding if it wants to shift on me or not, what I'll do is I'll kind of fan the hammer. I'll hold my finger down on the escape button, and if I see the fires start to kind of like flicker and go out, I'll know that the wind is shifted, and I'll just slam escape real fast to cancel the action. I've frozen to death a few too many times while standing next to a fire. It's been a problem for me, and so it's made me naturally paranoid of the situation. We got a couple more sticks laying around, but doesn't look like we have a whole lot out here. I'd love to get another rabbit. This is a well-known rabbit spawn, but unfortunately it looks like they haven't popped back up over here just yet. Such is life. Such is life in the world of the hinterland. So we've got cabin fever really, really close to going away, and I want to point out that that's not like cabin fever, it's cabin fever risk. The higher it is, the better your chance of developing cabin fever. But if I think if I can just spend like another hour or two outside, I think I can clear it. And that's the important part to me, is that just like I want to get rid of the cabin fever risk like right now if I can. I think it'll make life easier for us. That way we can bail back. I think that's a full-size branch. I think that's a cedar limb. Yeah, that's a cedar limb. I need branches. It's definitely getting a little chillier out here. All right, back to our fire. But yeah, the common ways that I would recommend getting rid of cabin fever risk is if you're on Mystery Lake like I am, you can go to the back side of the lake over that way, and there's a cave. In the back of the cave, you'll get +2 up arrows if you have decent gear, and you can just sleep inside of there, and it'll 100% count. Like, it'll take care of business for you. The other option that you have is that you can make a snow shelter outside the back of wherever your base is, and you can sleep for half the night in the snow shelter with your bedroll. Sleep like 2 hours at a time while watching the temperature, and once the temperature gets too low to safely sleep, then you go inside and finish the rest of the night. That's the way that I prefer to do it, just me personally. Honestly, if I was being proactive, I probably could have, like... Yeah, let's go ahead and just... I'll use the coffee right now. Just fill up a random meter real quick. Good. And now we just kind of like chill out here until this goes away. It's at 1%. And so it should go away in just a moment. We've managed to outrun our first assault by cabin fever. It's okay. It's something you're going to have to deal with playing the long dark, because I know there's like the natural. So what I tend to do is I tend to kill like 4 or 5 deer after I get the bow, and that'll give me like 50 kilos of meat, and then I can live off that more or less indefinitely without having to worry about too much. And it's kind of meant to punish you for spending all your time indoors not doing anything, just crafting and eating essentially. I do wish that cabin fever didn't accumulate while you were crafting, but like, I get it. I get why it's implemented, but I do actively try to play around it a little bit if I can. Come on, 1%. Well, the bad news is it looks like the wind is going to blow out our fire. And we're so close. Oh, no, we got rid of it. Never mind. We were stuck at 1% for like the last hour or so of in-game time, and it was starting to concern me. But like, if we got rid of our cabin fever risk, let's just go inside, because that should activate the cooldown, and we shouldn't have to worry about it for a couple more days now, so that's good. Let's go ahead and eat our rabbit meat. Not the best rabbit we've ever cooked, but a rabbit nonetheless. That'll get us a little head start on our calories, and then we'll go ahead and drink the Summit Soda, and that'll get us settled on in. Let's go to bed, and hopefully tomorrow is a wonderful day in the world of Long Dark. We're still before day 20, so honestly, I'm not that worried about our survival right now. It's once the weather starts to get really, really nasty that we kind of want to have like certain things done. I don't want to be like behind the curve though, if I can help it. I'm gonna repair these pants while I'm in here, because the wind sounds like it sucks outside anyways. And so if we can get some of these repairs done and we can fix up some of the clothing that we're wearing, I think that would be a good thing to do, just for the few extra degrees of safety that it gives us. Drink about a liter of water right there to get our status back up. Looking beautiful. Am I fully rested? I'm gonna repair one more thing. I want my pants to be. I can't be giving people the goodies for free via holes in my pants. You know what I mean? Like, people look in and they can see like what I got on offer. That's like a situation where you got to keep some secrets, man. You got to keep some cookies in the jar. Good. Toque's all taken care of. That toque's looking good. The scarf is not as good as the toque, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Wouldn't use it personally. That's just me. We've got a bunch of extra clothing over here. I'll probably just dump it so that I can get the weight back. I could harvest it right now, but frankly, I'm like lazy and I don't care. So there we go. I'm trying to get our weight back down about as low as I possibly can, but that's it for me. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Long Dark and our Interloper playthrough. Doing my best to give you my advice as we go through. I've got a couple playthroughs right now. I got a personal playthrough that's on like day 80-something. I've got a stream playthrough that's on like day 50-something. And so like I know how to survive on Interloper. Right now we're a little bit behind the curve. We need to find a maple branch about as soon as possible. We need to make the bunny gloves and the bunny hat in the next 2 to 3 days. And then maybe also the deer boots in the next 3 or 4 days. But we'll see what happens. We'll do the best we can with it. Hi to everybody, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping on by. Farewell.